Ah, there we go. Now we're looking fucking good. I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about us working out all the time, because you know we never mention it, but Skidden has officially maintained her weight loss of 5 pounds, and I am super excited. We have some spiced chicken cooking downstairs that we're gonna make into some delicious stuff. And I don't know why I said any of it like that. I just was excited.
I don't know. You raised your eyebrows and stuff too. It seemed like
yeah,
suggested.
Spicy chicken,
like,
but
stuff.
it's just
like,
delicious.
Like
it's
if
just
this
good.
was a porno, it'd be like delicious stuff.
Yeah, you want
like your penis would be out.
Yeah, you want some chicken thighs? All I have is penis. So, anyways, nutty historical facts that sound like fiction. Do you have any thing that in history that you can think of in your boring era that you study that would sound fake even though it's real?
No.
Public bathhouses used to use sponges, and they would just use each other's sponge in Rome.
Disgusting.
When they finally came up with public shitters, they would just borrow each other's sponge.
That's gross.
Community sponges.
That makes me sad.
That's pretty wild.
Please stop talking about it. I'm like getting physically uncomfortable.
Do not visualize it. That's what I thought you were saying. Do not visualize that. We'll let this play through, and then we'll think of some stuff as it goes on. But this should be pretty fun. So let's do it, man. Play. Ah, shit.
It's like fiction, but is actually a real historical event. Operation Paul Bunyan. To summarize, some Americans were killed by the North Korean military while cutting down a tree in the Korean DMZ. In response to this, to show the North Koreans that you don't fuck with the United States, America went back to finish cutting down the tree with a little bit of backup firepower to help keep them safe. Specifically, America and South Korea sent a convoy of 23 vehicles and about 140 men, armed with rifles, grenade launcher, vehicle-mounted chain guns, chainsaws, some with suicide vests, some with axes and taekwondo training. They had 27 helicopters circling behind them, 7 of which were attack helicopters. They had B-52s flying overhead, escorted or accompanied by F-4s,
How much money did this
F-5s,
cost?
F-86s, and F-111s, all of which were armed and ready to engage.
Those F's mean nothing to me, by the way. That don't mean.
I don't know plane. I almost said plans. I don't know planes.
I don't know plants by the name.
I don't know plants.
Area offshore, just behind the border, they had full infantry, artillery, and armor divisions
Okay, it
standing
sounds
by.
fake
All
now.
this just to chop down a tree.
I hate to start this out with a Google, but is that an appropriate Google?
I feel like we should Google it.
Right? That sounds actually fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm calling you out, Reddit video.
Look at Luffy.
No, it's real as fuck.
No.
You know it's real when you don't even finish typing it in and then it fucking auto-corrects it. Okay, they were beaten to death with the blunt ends of axes.
Jesus.
Okay, so we're gonna scroll through that. It looks real-ish.
Oh wow, this is real.
Huh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. A period of high tension between you don't say. High tension.
And to send a message, of course.
Right, it was.
Vesna fell from a height of 10,160 meters and lived. She holds the world record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute.
Okay, I was about to say, should we know who that is? Because I don't know who that is.
Anything more than 450 meters and you might as well go for the record.
I mean, yeah.
A Chinese emperor once ran in circles around a pillar to escape an assassin. He survived. I've used similar tactics with my father. 10 out of 10 would run around in circles again.
That nigga, fuck that. He been stabbed me.
Sorry to hear that your dad tried to assassinate you.
What
A town in France nearly danced itself to death in 1518
Yes,
because of a
that
dancing plague.
Yep,
My
that's
first
true.
genuine what in this thread. That's fucking
that's
wild.
true.
Why has this not been tapped into for fiction stories?
It has.
I was gonna say, yeah,
A lot. The same thing with the laughing disease.
Yep.
That took over a town. It's everywhere. Yeah.
I want to read a post-apocalypse story from the perspective of a survivor of the global dancing plague.
Okay, so maybe not that deep. You're right. Maybe you're.
Imagine infected people not coughing or getting any flu-like symptoms.
Right.
but instead looking elated, full of energy.
Also, this is back from April 2019, before the coronavirus scare, so that is not a coronavirus reference of flu-like symptoms, but it is now.
And then dancing with the other infected until they fall down dead, still smiling and twitching while others dance on.
Why
Name
don't
the
you just write it
disease
then?
And the book, Foxtrot, Stephen King.
No, I'm pretty,
know
like,
you got this
you
in
have
you.
a whole thing. Just write it yourself.
Yeah. Also, great fan fiction. Coronavirus read this and thought, what if I do the same thing but with flu-like symptoms?
Stupid.
The Assassination of Rasputin reads like a cartoon. The Assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand II. Guess back then assassinations just had a slapstick look and feel. Check out the CIA's assassination attempts on Castro.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
highlights
those are
include
funny.
planting a bomb in a
Yeah.
large seashell, and then painting it bright colors and placing it on the ocean floor in hopes Castro would see it, while swimming and pick it up.
What?
Right.
Exploding cigars.
Yes.
Poisoned cigars that were supposed to be given
Yep.
to Castro but were instead given to an unknown individual. Spraying Castro's broadcasting station with LSD. Poisoning Castro's shoe so that his beard would fall out. Poisoning a chocolate milkshake. Only the pills froze together in the freezer and shattered before they
Yep.
could be placed in the shake.
That's real life. The last one is real life.
Wow.
Yep. They were really bad at this. Really creative, though.
WWI. The Germans sent Lenin back to Russia in a sealed train, calling him the most dangerous weapon that they had. The Second Punic War has all the makings of a great story. It has a blood oath, an underdog story, bravery, an OP main
Wow.
character, tragedy and a final showdown between the two main characters. The fact that it all, or most of it, happened blows my mind. There could be a GOT-like series about the three wars, trying to move some elephants over a couple of mountain
yeah.
ranges.
Yeah.
Are you also trying to figure out the fuck they're talking about?
Yeah, the Second Punic War. I don't know where the blood oath comes in at.
Right, yeah. I was like, what the fuck are
But
you
yeah.
talking about?
The elephants. I was like, Second Punic War is when he tried with the elephants
Yes.
the first time,
Yeah.
I believe.
Which is insanity.
Yeah. I mean, it would have worked if he would have done it not in the winter time.
Right. You mean looked at a calendar.
Yeah.
Right. Which they had.
Yeah.
They knew winter was coming.
Game of Thrones.
Shut
Teach
up.
them to ski.
Shut up.
It'll be quicker. Then, only in the descent, though picture that, the mother of all charges. In the 1800s there were street vendors in Egypt who sold ancient Egyptian mummies.
That's true.
Just lined
Yeah,
them
yeah,
up
yeah.
on a
Really?
street corner
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sold
yeah.
them like they were umbrellas on
That's
a
how
rainy
it's true.
day.
Well, I don't know if
English
it's true, I
tourists
heard.
would buy them to display as oddities.
Yeah.
During WW to the Polish army conscripted a bear. Wikipedia. Oh man, you're selling this short. They didn't conscript Wojtek. They enlisted him when
Name.
command specifically said they couldn't take him when they deployed.
Ha!
The bear was given rations, a bunk, even beer and cigarettes just like any other
That
soldier.
that
And he
is
actually
awesome.
served in the field. The unit was responsible
you
for distributing
imagine?
munitions like artillery shells. And Wojtek, and I'm not joking here, would help them move crates. The bear
What?
would literally pick up 100-pound crates of shells by himself and stack them up
That's
where they
what?
needed to go. Wojtek was not a mascot enlisted for giggles. The bear was a soldier. The bear was a hero.
There was a hero.
That is
The
funny.
longest piano piece of any kind is Vexations by Eric Satie. It consists
it.
of a 180-note composition which, on the composer's orders, must be repeated 840 times so that the whole performance is 18 hours 40 minutes. Its first reported public performance in September 1963. In the Pocket Theatre, New York City, required a relay team of 10 pianists. The New York
Wow,
Times critic fell
only
asleep
10
at 4 a.m. and the audience dwindled to
fell
6
asleep.
masochists. At the conclusion, one sadomasochist shouted, "Encore." In 2007, a paraglider got trapped in the updraft of 2 joining thunderstorms and lifted to an altitude of 10 kilometers.
Jesus.
She
Yeah.
landed 3.5 hours later about
Oh
60
my
kilometers
God.
north of her starting position, having survived extreme cold,
Yeah.
lightning and lack of oxygen.
Wow.
The
Yeah, that's
Glasgow ice
insane.
cream wars. 6 people died in a turf war over ice cream van routes. They were dealing
Yeah.
heroin out of the vans.
Okay,
That
thank
makes
you.
more
All
sense.
right. And it was good you saved it to the end, because that was a damn good one, actually. I was like, I'm looking it up, but now not so much. I get it.
I
Heroin
love
now.
my city so much. In 1967, Australian Prime Minister Harold Holt simply vanished without a trace and no one knew what happened for 40 years. During
Y'all don't want to tell us what happened?
I'm about to say, do you want to look it up? Because I kind of want to know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Former Prime Minister of Australia.
You don't mind Wikipedia for this
Not
one?
this one, because I believe it.
Let's just go straight to it. They stopped at a beach.
Right.
To go spear fishing.
Oh,
And he got caught in a riptide.
Yeah. Yep. Accidental drowning.
So they knew what happened, but they just couldn't make a definitive thing because they didn't find a body.
Right.
That makes more sense.
Right. So that's not nearly as crazy. I'm glad we looked that one up.
Yep.
Like, we knew that one couldn't have been as insane, and it wasn't.
And he didn't vanish without a trace. Like, I guess he technically
did.
vanished
No,
without a trace.
he did.
Because he got caught in a riptide.
Body's gone. Body gone, clothes gone.
But there's like witnesses and everything.
Yeah, that's like not nearly as mysterious.
without a trace and no one knew what happened for 40 years.
We do know exactly what
During
happened.
WW1, Christmas 1914, the British and German forces on the Western Front unofficially made a ceasefire without the authorization of their superiors in order to celebrate, trade goods, and play football. Also during WW1, the Russian and German armies in Poland stopped fighting each other in order to fight off an enormous pack of wolves that had been attacking both armies.
They should definitely make a video
The
game
rise
about
and
that.
fall of
Really?
Alexander the Great never lost a battle in his life, conquered the whole known world, and only stopped because his soldiers were tired.
Actually, yeah. But that's not really nutty though, because he was doing it for a long time.
Oh, it's nutty. The story of Alexander the Great is crazy as fuck.
It's not that crazy.
And his old troops were like, dog, can we fucking stop? Then he died of a disease. Malaria.
I thought he died of alcohol poisoning.
I think he got sick from malaria.
Something like that.
In Egypt.
Do you think
Fucking his bitch, right?
I was gonna say, do you think Alexander the Great had bitches?
Alexander the Great had tons of bitches. And man bitches. Definitely also had men. All of them.
He had all of the bitches.
All the bitches. Any person he thought he was a god.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you? But see, the thing was with Alexander the Great, which makes it less nutty, is that he traveled the world, got all that power, and then got weird.
Yeah.
Because he went through all those other cultures and took from all those other cultures and stuff and got really fucking weird to the end of his life. And he wasn't even that old. So you know it was that weird transition between your 20s and 30s.
Right.
Where you're just fucking open to new experience. Like Will Smith's son. Right?
Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden Smith is Alexander the Great reincarnated.
Right.
Confirmed.
But-
Headcanon accepted.
Yeah, like, started tweeting that weird shit, doing weird drugs. Alexander did that and then just died afterwards.
I enjoy Alexander the Great a lot. I don't know if I don't feel like he's I guess for me, I like just buy into the propaganda of Alexander the Great so much, and I'm just like, yeah, he was that nigga though. This isn't crazy for him. He could have done all of this and more.
I see what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
But see, when you read the literature, like from how they wrote it,
right,
it puts it into so much crazy perspective because they'll talk about their own father because they go through their own lineage or whatever, and they'll be like you'll read a general, like he is actually that nigga. Like I murdered like 18 people by hand, and then I rode through the ranks, and there was a little uprising here. I took like 18 men and killed like 1,000 people type shit, and it'd be like Alexander the God. I'm following. You're like, why are you talking about this man like this? Like, you know him. He's like, no, whatever. If that's what he thinks, it must be true. You know, some people be like, dude, my sons were born, and I've been on the road since they were born. I've never seen my family, but it might be worth it to stick with him. Like, that's how cool he is.
I think it might be okay.
But that's where we're going to end this, swooning over Alexander the Great. The emo war, we can see that on the screen, which again was nutty. We'll probably finish this video later, but in the meantime, let me know any facts that you guys know of that are actually crazy. My mind's blown here with my wife.
I don't think I would leave you for Alexander the Great. Like, if I had the choice, I'd probably stick with you.
Right.
But just because, like you said, he's kind of weird.
But here's the thing.
Right.
You can't take naps if you marry Alexander the Great. That's not a nigga who naps, man.
He don't nap.
No way he naps.
I'll be like, I'm gonna take a nap, and he'll be like across the world.